Hey everybody, Charlie902 here, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. When we last left off, we made it into the storeroom of the pawnbroker, and when we came in here, she's a bit distraught. Gregson's trying to cheer her up there, as you can see, but, I mean, look at what he said. I mean, at least you're not dead, are you? Not a very good job there, Gregsy. Let's keep going. I don't think that went very well. Why? Look, I'm in the middle of an investigation here, Sunshine. I told you not to get under my feet. We didn't. And we have investigating to do ourselves. Yes. I'd like to hear more of what the socially inept inspector has to say. Oh, Hurley. And inquire into how Mr. Shulmans' operation is going. First thing we're doing is examining. Not a very big room. We're going to start with the side here. What do we got? Look at all these articles that have been deposited. The room is stuffed full of them. I can't believe how many there are. A bicycle, a gramophone, musical instruments, even some enormous paintings. Look. Pieces of different people's lives quietly gathering dust in here together. There's something very peaceful about the atmosphere in here. Or at least there would be if not for the chalk outline on the floor and the policeman shuffling around. Not much I can do about that, Sunshine. Okay, so that takes care of pretty much this whole wall, right? Yep. This entire wall is complete. There's a box. This is where Shulmans' manuscript was in, right? They said it was in a trunk. Out of all the articles in the storeroom, this is the only thing that shows any sign of being ransacked. Ah! What is it, Iris? That's the box file that my manuscript was being kept in. Oh! Iris's unpublished story, The Hound of the keep wanting to say Baskerville. Baskervilles. Surely, that's not what all this... Sorry, Iris, but if you ask me, he sold it. Without telling you? We must check inside the box at once. Yes. It's empty. Ah! Oh, it was there. The story was there. Really? It was? Well, that's good news, isn't it, Iris? Yeah. I mean, of course, I believed Hurley when he said he deposited here, but still, it's a relief to actually see it. Really, because that's not a very well-hidden frown. Iris's manuscript has been entered into the court record, a long unpublished story that Mr. Shulmans deposited at the pawnbrokery of the victim, Mr. Windybank. It's entitled The Hound of the Baskervilles. Let's look at it. Hound of the Baskervilles. Hound of the Baskervilles. How did Susato-san know the exact title of this unpublished story? I suppose I'll just have to wait until she's ready to explain it to me. I'm so sorry. I really feel like you should just tell us because it may be important for the case. Is there anything else? It's just the title, right? I'm trying to make sure... There we go, let's do this. And no. Can we look at her name? Nope. Alright, that's it. Blood portfolio. Examine. Oh. There's pictures. I don't know how there's pictures. I don't know who's taking pictures, but there's pictures. Unless Iris can take pictures with her camera lenses. Alright, so we know that that's thrice-fired Mason's blood. We don't know whose blood this is. Probably Mr. Windybank. We'll check that out now. The police have marked the position of the body with a chalk line. Poor Mr. Windybank. He was a nice old man. Well, he was shot just once, through the heart. And you're to blame? Because do you give love a bad... Continue. Most likely the fellow died instantly. He wouldn't have felt a thing. Well, that's good, I guess. Test the blood. This must be his blood, then. Ah! I don't like to ask at such a wretched time, Iris, but I wonder if perhaps... Don't worry, Susie. I'm ready for action. Green. No. Blue. So now we know the color the chemical turns when it reacts with Mr. Windybank's blood. Blue. It doesn't match our analysis of the bloodstain we found in the main shop. Yep, so there goes my theory. No, but let's add this sample to the others we've already collected anyway. The blood sample portfolio has been updated in the court record. Okay. Huh. These notes we can't look at. This ship, this lantern, this clock, this desk, these keys, this gun for sure. Let's look at it. This is a revolver, a real one, and quite possibly the murder weapon used to take Mr. Windybank's life. What's the matter, Susie? You and Runo look like you're about to faint. Well, it's just that I've rarely seen a gun in the flesh. Is it in the flesh? Because his gun doesn't have flesh. And I've had issues with guns in the past. You've had issues with... Oh. Because of that initial court case. But anyway, we saw Mr. Windybank with this yesterday, didn't we? Oh my god, stop showing that. Yeah, we saw that. It must be the same gun. And last night, when I looked through the spy hole into the door into the storeroom here, that was the same gun I saw in Gina's hand. Mr. Windybank told us that he only ever had a single bullet loaded in his revolver, didn't he? Well, it's empty now. The one and only bullet he had in his gun has been fired. Gina might have shot at the robbers and hit one of them. So we can be fairly certain that only a single shot was fired from this revolver. Or maybe she shot Egbert Benedict, and then we can match that to the blood on his disc. Or not his disc, but the disc that he bled onto. Can't look at any of this. And that's it. Oh, we can look at the chalk outline. Oh, we can look at this again. And you're probably just going to say it's blue blood, right? Iris? Don't worry. I'm all right. But we must find the true culprit. Yes, absolutely. Okay, I believe that's everything. We can talk to Gregson, right? Converse. The scene of the crime. So, Inspector, what do you make of the crime scene here? Pshaw, you've got eyes, haven't you? Use them. It's what it looks like. Nothing more, nothing less. Iris, could you lend me a hand? So, Gregsy, what do you make of the crime scene here? Oh yes, your ladyship, do allow me to humbly explain. Last night, at shortly after the hour of 1 o'clock in the morning, Scotland Yard police attended the scene. 1 o'clock in the morning. The 1 o'clock in the morning. I don't know why that would be. For some reason that rings in my mind, but I don't know why. The one and only door to the storeroom was found locked from the inside. So it was locked from the inside. The lock appears to be broken now, though. Was that the police officers doing? Quite right, ma'am, quite right. We took the liberty of smashing the door in as humbly as possible. Oh. As you can see, the victim was discovered prostrate. Prostrate? I would say prone, but okay. Prostrate on the floor, thuswise. And next to the aforementioned body, we discovered the vile gutter child. You talking about Jenny? She's my friend, you know, Inspector. Miss Lestrade, the hapless girl, was curled up on the floor, dead to the world. She's still alive, you know. Yes, when I saw her, she appeared to be unconscious. I'm afraid to say she had the gun that was used in her hand. No. Presumably, it's the gun that's still down there on the floor now. In her pocket, we found the key to the door as well. What? The key to the storeroom? As you say, the storeroom had been locked from the inside, Inspector? Correct. All of which leaves her ladyship's friend in something of a sticky situation, I'm afraid. Obviously, my personal opinion is that it's all some sort of misunderstanding. Of course it is, Inspector. Of course it is. Shulmans' operation. Tell us about it. Gregsy, do you know anything about Hurley? Is the operation finished? Is Hurley all right? Is he? The thing is, don't mince your words, Inspector, please. You don't mean to say that Mr. Shulmans is... No. The operation's done and dusted. It's just that, well, out with it. Yes, ma'am. They use something called a general anesthetic. It's the latest thing. Renders the whole body insensitive. The whole body? Anesthetized? Is that even possible? It means the operation can be completed while the patient is fast asleep. Goodness, in the Empire of Japan, we can just manage to provide laughing gas for a tooth extraction. The trouble is, the latest thing isn't always the greatest thing, if you follow my meaning. They couldn't get the medication to work at first, so it took hours for them to nod off, or so I hear. And now that the op's finished, they can't get him to wake up, apparently. Well, what's his O2 sat? Oh my. No one knows if it's the anesthetic still in the system, or the bloke's just plain exhausted. But anyway, all they can do is stand back and watch until he comes around again. Hurley. The moment he opens his eyes, your ladyship, I swear I shall get word to you. What a surprise. Even in matters of life and death, Mr. Shulmans has to do things his way. Alright. Well, now we gotta go back to the prison, right? Court's tomorrow, right? 16th of April, local prison, cell 13. Gina doesn't appear to be here. I believe she must be in questioning at the moment. Oh, but wait a minute. What is it, Iris? Well, if you examine the scene here carefully, there's another possibility, isn't there? Jenny could have slipped the key from the jailer when he wasn't looking and escaped. Oh my. Why would she do something like that? It would only make her situation worse. Calm down, Runo. I was only joking, of course. Oh. Ah, you had me worried there. I thought it was a great deduction. Yes, it must be your way with words, Iris. You're so wonderfully persuasive. Perhaps you don't fully understand the weight your words carry. Oh dear, I'm sorry. I suppose a lighthearted great detective is a contradiction in terms. Well, in the same situation, I'm sure Mr. Shulmans would have just thrown his head back and guffawed. I'm not entirely sure that's helpful, Mr. Naruhodo. Well, anyway, looks like we won't be able to talk to Gina for a while. We should try to make progress with our investigation in the meantime. Yes, come along then, Runo. Come along, Susie. Move? I guess we can go back to the main shop and talk to Iris. Yeah, she's standing there. No, we've done that. So the court record, do we have anything else to do? No. So... Huh. Move? Checked out storeroom. Can't go to Lord Chief Justice. He's not... Well, we can go see him, I guess, if he's not awake. Examine? Is he in the bed? Or maybe he's still in the operating suite. Move? Prison. Shulmans' suite. Well, let's see if there's anything to examine here. Oh, there is. Why? Oh, it's the whole thing. Why would we want to examine any of this again? Look at Mr. Shulmans' desk. It's completely clear. It looks totally different without that enormous machine on it. It's because Iris has something to say. Hurley lives in an absolute mess all the time. He never notices when things go missing. Even Mr. Shulmans must have noticed that a huge lump of metal is no longer there. Surely. Okay, that's his whole desk. Can't look at the lamp. We can look at this. It's all sorts on these shelves, chemistry apparatus, books, papers, and lots of things I've never seen before. It's all heaped up so high I can't help feeling that the whole lot is going to topple at any moment. Yes, Hurley does tend to overload the shelves. It's one way of putting it. He wanted to look something up in one of those books the other day, you know? But it was so tightly crammed in, he gave up and went on to buy a brand new copy instead. We've already heard that. She told us about that, or maybe he told us about that. Let's look at the Stradivarius. Now this really is Mr. Shulmans' faithful performing partner then. The Strappy Scar, the Scrapifarius? No, it's no good, it's gone. Virtuoso's violin that he found in the pawnbrokers and managed to buy for next to nothing. Hope Hurley gets well soon. I miss hearing his violin playing already. Or Iris. I'm sure he will. Okay. M. Starting over here. This trunk. It's an unusual way to make use of a huge metal chest as a table for tea and coffee. But it's a very sturdy box, and I've noticed that it's always locked. Ah, well, that's because that box contains some of my most important things, which you have no intention of telling me more about, judging from that guarded smile. I feel like we've seen all this before with the inspection. I don't know that's not checked off. Let's click this. Fire's burning comfortingly in the grate again today. It's a very different feeling to a Japanese hibachi somehow. Hurley's been working on his disguises recently. He's been dressing as a woman mainly. This is new. Really? Mr. Shulmans dresses in women's clothes? Yes, you see the lady in that photographic print on the mantelpiece? That's Hurley. He's quite stunning. Ooh. Let's look at the map. These are all mementos of Mr. Shulmans' past cases, I think. If he'd been involved in my case, I wonder if the beefsteak from La Carnival would be on display here. Hurley says that Waggy is a memento, too. What? How? He tried really hard to get the little fella to stay on those shelves at first. But he had to give up in the end. Waggy just wouldn't keep still. Yes, funny that. Alright, and then hit the move over button and look at your room. Tea set. Your beautiful tea set is there on the table as usual. A cup of one of your special herbal blends always helps me to relax when I'm feeling the strain. Poor Hurley. He hasn't had a drop of tea today. I wish I could take some to the hospital for him. I mean, you probably could. What's up here? That's a charming little white shelf and full of charming little bottles, too. But the contents of them aren't quite so charming, it seems. I'm so close now. I've nearly developed a rainbow smoke grenade, you know? So you're still working on those colorful but fumey explosives, are you? I'll tell you what, when I've perfected it, I'll fire the first shot at you, Runo. What an honor. Why are you firing them at people? It's not what you do with smoke. We get it. You vape. Alright. Come to think of it, I haven't seen you doing much writing recently, Iris. But there's paper already set up in the typewriter, I notice, as if you're about to start. I'm a little bit stuck for a new story idea, actually. Well, you could consider using what happened to Mr. Natsume, perhaps. Oh yes, that's a fabulous idea, and a great title has just popped in my head as well. The Adventure of the Caddy Man. How's that, Runo? Yeah, I love it. I don't feel like we're going to get anywhere here. Okay. Move to our place. Examine again. How to progress? I feel like we've looked at and examined everything now. Can we converse with anybody here? We can't. Oh, the Baker's Street might be a good place to look. Yeah, we haven't even done this. All right, let's start from the left. Look at the police wagon here. There's still a Scotland Yard carriage outside Windybanks. Never imagined we'd be investigating a case so close to home. Poor Iris, she's very upset by all this. I'm sorry, I was there. I should have done more. None of this is your fault, Runo, so please, don't apologize. But it's the criminals who are to blame for all of this, so let's investigate and work out how to catch them. Yes, you're right. Okay, Windybanks shop. Nothing to look at here. Well. Huh. Thought there would be more to look at. Here's our place. Let's look at it. It's already been 2 months that we've been taking lodging out here above Mr. Shulmans' office. I still can't quite believe it. I never expected things would turn out like this. When Hurley comes back home, let's have a big party. That's a great idea. I'm sure it won't be long. Mr. Shulmans is very tough. Yes. Okay, so nothing else to do here. Is there anybody to talk to? No, there isn't. Main shop, we've already done. Storeroom, we've already done. Lord Chief Justice? I mean, we can go there, but I'm pretty sure there's nothing to do here. Examine, we've already done. Yep. Move. Hospital. I feel like I don't know what to do at this point. Have I missed something to investigate somewhere? If I missed it anywhere, it would be in the pawn shop or the storeroom. Yep, all this is still shown as investigated. Is there anybody we can talk to? No. Prison? Maybe we can converse it. No, we can't. Just move. Shulmans' suite, we just did. Baker Street, we just did. Let's do the main shop again. Examine. Is there something we're missing? Doesn't appear so. Let's look over here. We've already done this and talked to you. Huh. And then talking is just to her. Can we present something to her? Let's present the manuscript to her. Oh, my manuscript. Mr. Shulmans said he deposited at Windybanks, and he had. But it's so strange. What is it all about, this particular story? I worked so hard on it. Why would Hurley say I can't publish it? I'm afraid I have no idea. All you can do is wait until he's ready to tell you, I suppose. Oh, maybe it's because Hurley isn't in it enough, and maybe I didn't give him enough good lines. No, I think it's because it's still going on. Yes, maybe. I wish I could say that definitely isn't the reason, but I can't. So... move to the back room? Can we talk to you, Gregson? No, we can't. Can we present something to you, Gregson? You want to look at the blood samples? Oh, that's the wrong button. Inspector Gregson, could you give me your opinion about this, do you think? Nope. You don't tend to stare. How about some herbal tea? He's going to drink the tea. And they're going to say, nope, you're good. Okay, so can't converse, can't present. What am I missing? We looked at this, we looked at that. Looked at everything over here. Looks like we've looked at everything here. Looked at the gun. Why isn't the gun in the court record, by the way? Huh. Back. Move. We've literally went everywhere, right? We're in Windybank's storeroom. We've got his blood. We looked at the outline. We've looked at everything there. Gotta be something in the main shop, right? Do you got anything new to say? Examine. Weren't we looking for a box? Right? Yeah, let's check the court record. It's this one. One small box, 10 shillings. So Windybank appears to have used the back of this photograph, write out redemption. But still, perhaps he ran out of paper, so he had to use anything he had to hand. It's hard to know what the front and what's on the reverse side now. So, let's find this small box. That's the only thing, right? That has to be the reason we can't go. There's a box here. Let's go over. Box here. And I cannot move tiny amounts very easily with this keyboard here. There's a box. Is that it? No. This a box? No. Small box. I may be off. That may not be what we're doing here. It should be out in the store at this point, right? We've already looked here. We've talked to you. Huh. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know quite what to do at this point. I feel like I've looked all at that side. Let's try going back in the storeroom again. Move storeroom. Is there a small box here that I'm not seeing? There's ink. So you can click on stuff. I find it odd. This is the first I found that. You can click on stuff that doesn't highlight. Keys? No, it just says the same thing. What about this box? Like this? That looks like a small box, right? No? How do I advance time to tomorrow? Clearly I'm missing something that they won't let me do. About this drawer. No, not the drawer. I am at a loss here. Not seeing anything new here. Huh. Alright, well, I guess that'll do it for this episode. I may have to look up what to do just to keep the story moving. But we'll see you next episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my content, please consider a like, a comment, and or subscribe. Stay tuned for the next episode. We'll see you then, and we'll get some progress done then. Bye-bye.